Well, welcome to the first video of 2025, and I meant to thank everyone because somewhere between November and December we hit and surpassed the 10,000 subscriber mark, which isn't huge, I know, but we're still growing. So by the time we release this video, probably be sitting around the 13,000 mark, so really appreciate it, thank you very much. But let's install something on this Mustang today. And what we're going to be installing is this little bad boy here. So this is an oil catch can, as you can see, and I bought this one off of Amazon. And this is a good thing to fit to your car. You can do it yourself. Oh my god, it's freezing! Ah, jeez, it's absolutely freezing in the garage today. So these are pretty easy to install. They don't cost much at all. This one's about $25–30, but I had to buy some bits and pieces, which I'll show you in a minute, to make sure I get the fitment that I want. And if you don't know what these do, don't worry, I shall explain all very soon. But for starters, I'm going to turn this car around so I can work on it in this side of the garage so I'm closer to the heater, because it is freezing today. And I'm actually going to be left with a catch can stuck to my hand if I hold it any longer. So let's crack on. So we have the car turned around, and I'm going to stick this heater on now because I won't be able to feel anything. And get my gloves on. I've got my brand new for Christmas, how about it, eh? New mechanics gloves. Get them on. Now, I haven't had this heater on for a good couple of years because it's never been cold enough to warrant it, but today it is. So I'm kind of hoping this thing still actually works, because I haven't tested it for a while. Let's see if it works. Crank it right up. Okay, big moment, big moment. Yeah, we're good. Okay, give me the heat, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so one thing I need to sort out in this garage is the lighting. These two strip lights are not coping with lighting this whole garage up. I've got my other LED one down there, but when you've got the car in this way, this light lights up the hood and nothing underneath. So I need to either get an under hood light or sort some better lighting out for above me here, because it's just not happening. I've often fancied looking at the hex lights, but I'm not sure about them. Don't know. Anyway, we'll deal with that later on. I'm still to finish painting the garage, sorting out the bike, sorting out this side, painting all over here, and get some better flooring in. So I've got this rubber stuff from Halfords, but I want something a bit tougher that I wouldn't mind jacking the car up on. But anyway, that's not why you're here. You're here for this PCV valve stroke oil catch can installation. So this is the 3.7 V6. It will be the same on the V8s roughly. So in order to understand why you need to fit, or why you should fit, an oil catch can, you need to look at this pipe here, right? So this is the positive crankcase ventilation. So there's a PCV valve underneath here, which takes gases, unwanted gases, from the crankcase, from the engine, from the bank of this side, and vents them back out through this pipe and into your intake. And see, I was getting cold, I can see my breath. The theory behind that is that the gases are going to cause less harm if they're put back through the engine, through the catalytic converter and out through the exhaust, as it would if these were just purely vented back out into the atmosphere, right? So the crankcase ventilation is necessary, else it would build up gases and the pressure would become too much. They come out of this pipe. And you've got one on both sides. So there's one here on this bank, and there's one here on that bank. So a sensible person would have bought 2 oil catch cans at the same time to fit on both sides. Unfortunately, I'm not that person. I only managed to stupidly buy one. So we'll fit one on this side anyway. And it's basically going to be a similar installation, but with a different placement of your can on this side. So let's concentrate on the left bank, or the passenger side bank if you like. So the problem with it is, when the gases come out of here, it's not just nice clean gases that are clear. It's coming out with a lot of dirty oil. And that dirty oil can come through this pipe, go back in your intake, and you're basically sucking in dirty oil into your engine, which isn't ideal. So what you do is, the catch can, wherever I've left it, here we are. I only got this one because of the blue colour, by the way. That was why I ordered it. So it essentially intersects this pipe and catches the dirty oil in the can before it goes back into your intake system. So what you do is, every time you service the car, you check the level of oil in here, empty it out, give it a clean, stick it back in. And the oil that's caught in here is therefore oil that's not dirtying up your intake system. Make sense? So I would pretty much guarantee that if I pull this pipe off here using the little quick connects, I'll try and do this one-handed, but I might have to put the camera down to take this off because I'm not going to be able to get in there one-handed. And as I suspect that's true, hold on a second. It's so cold, I take my gloves off to get into these little clips and feel them. But anyway, these little quick connects, you kind of push down on the grey bit there and it opens up the tab. Now, proving a point straight away, right? I'm just taking this off for real. You can already see dirty oil. You see it? And here it'll be even worse. Look at that. So that is coming out through your PCV valve, which is there, this big thing sticking up here. That's your PCV valve. That's your port for your intake. And your intake is essentially soaking in all of this dirty oil. So you want to kind of, if you essentially imagine in your mind, you're cutting this pipe in half and putting the oil catch can in between it. We're not going to cut this in half because we're going to keep this piece in case the next person that owns this car doesn't like oil catch cans or wants to take it completely back to stock. So I'm going to keep this somewhere. And we're going to be installing some bits and pieces that I mentioned earlier. So what I've bought is the oil catch can itself, obviously. It comes with various fittings here to put onto it with Jubilee clips and whatnot. And I've already installed, or temporarily installed, and you'll see why in a minute, the 2 fittings that fit the size of pipe for the Mustang, right? So it's the largest ones here. It's half inch pipes if you like. And you'll see the ones labelled in and ones labelled out. So the in port comes from your PCV valve. Put a pipe from the PCV valve to the in, and the out goes from the oil catch can to your air intake system. So the oil that's coming in will get caught in the can, and what's going out will be nice, clean, fresh air that will boost the car's performance tenfold and spit flames out the back. So, in order to do that, what I've ordered here is a couple of lengths of blue silicone hose, 1/2 inch, 13mm, and I've had to get a couple of brackets and stuff because you'll see why in a minute. It's where I want to place the actual oil catch cans. This one does come with a little breather which you can put there, but I think it might be too high for where I want to place the catch can. And I've got various Jubilee clips and stuff. Now this kit that I bought comes with this little bit of PTFE tape. If anyone's done any plumbing in their life, they'll know exactly what this is for. So whatever size of connector you're using, you would wrap the PTFE tape around the threads going that way, so that when you're tightening this, it doesn't squish the PTFE tape, it goes in line with the thread, and I'll show you that when I'm actually doing it. And it just makes the seal better, so you're not getting those gases or any vacuum leaks or etc. coming out of these threads. So we'll do that. And in terms of placing this, there's various options you could have in this engine bay. I've seen some people on the web tying them on here with cable ties, which is okay, which is fine, but on the V6 there is a bracket here between your intake and the engine itself that I think I'm going to tap into. And what I'm going to do is use the bracket here that I've got, an L-shaped bracket, to place it onto there, and perhaps give it a support coming from down there, depending how tight that connection is. And then from there, oh my god, Jesus, freezing, why have I got my gloves off? Then I'll run the piping from the out to there, and from there to the in side of the port. And we will have a nice neat connection going to our new oil catch can. Now, if I was doing it over here, I would perhaps use the method of tying it onto this support brace here and have the catch can sitting somewhere in that region, about there. But stupidly, I've only bought one. So let's crack on with this installation and see how we get on. If my hands can hold up to it. And you've seen the oil that's in that little pipe already. What I'm going to do is, after this video is finished, I'm going to come back later on and do a follow-up video and just show you how much oil is caught within this within a few thousand miles of driving. But I want to release this video sooner than that, so we'll definitely hit subscribe and follow along if you want to see the results. Real time, real life driving later on. Right, let's start lining this up before my hands drop off. My little battery lights seem to be failing me as well here. You know, you get days like this when everything just kind of fights against you. That's me got to power through, you see. Power through. Right, so we have an 8mm socket set here, an 8mm bolt, which we're going to take out of here. Oh, that's pretty tighter than I thought. Take this out because we're going to use this little bracket as our mounting point. And I can't feel my fingers at all. Or should I say, I can't feel anything through these gloves. I need to use my freezing cold fingers. Right, so I think Ford put this little bracket here deliberately for this purpose. What do you think? Just so nice and neat. Right, okay, so Mr. Catch Can here, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the fitments here so I can put some PTFE tape onto them. I just want to line up this can and make sure it's going to go where I think it could go. And if it doesn't, we'll make it fit. So, every time, there's always something. There we go. Don't do that again, mister. You're not even providing me with any light. What use are you? Timu lights, they work for the first 8 minutes of their life and then they don't. Right, so let's put this right here. That's where it's going to go. Because that's what I'm telling it. It's definitely going to go there. And if it needs an extra bit of support, we shall do that. Get in there. And this little bracket that I've got, it's just an L bracket, one of the automotive ones that I had lying around, and it's got a little bit of adjustment in it in terms of it's not set to one position, so I can do what I want with it really. But I'm just wanting to test this out and see if it does actually fit here. Do with a electric ratchet as well actually for doing these types of things. Right, see that's okay, right? It's going to jiggle around at the moment until I tighten it up, but that's fine. What have I got there? Right, so now what we need to do is fit the two fitments here, these little guys. We need to fit these with PTFE tape, and I'll show you how I wrap these, because if you wrap them the wrong way, you're just going to get a squidge of PTFE tape. So hold on a second. Okay, so it's PTFE tape time. So you get a little roll of it with the kit that I bought. And when you're putting these in, you're obviously tightening them that way. So you want to put the tape with the thread so that when you tighten them, you don't get a squash of thread or PTFE tape coming back, right? So lay this on thread here and hold it with your thummy, and then you wrap it this way. That makes sense? Wrap it that way, right? And you're going round the thread so that when this is applied to the, or when it's screwed in, sorry, to the actual catch can, you're not messing up. And go around a few times. I'm not the best at this, as you can see. And then we will simply nick it like that. Put that bit round. Now, when we tighten this, it's going with the way that I put the tape on, so it's not going to bump it up and squish it up, right? Now let's put it in the catch can, I'll show you. Right, so there's our catch can. Here's our threaded little unit thing here. Put it in here, and as we're threading it and squashing, you'll see the PTFE tape doesn't squidge up into a mess. It's making a nice tight connection, and when you screw it in by hand, you shouldn't see any PTFE tape at all. Like so. Just do that again with the next one, and you can see there's no tape squashing out of this at all because of the way we put it on, right? So that should make a nice neat connection. We'll give it a wee quarter turn with a spanner and a wee second once I've put the other one in place. So let's put the other one in. That's how cold it is in here, look. Oh, dragon breath coming at you. This is doing nothing. Come on, it's like I can get more heat out of match than this is. This is so old. I need to upgrade stuff in here. If I really want to continue to work in here over the winter months, I need lighting, I need heating, I need better. Look at that. Absolutely Baltic. Why am I doing this today? This is not a necessary repair. I don't mind the gloves now because I literally can't feel anything anymore. Anyway, let's plough on. There we go. Ground it about 5 or 6 times. And let's put that one into place. Go little catch can. And we'll tighten all this up snugly when we're done, once I know everything's sitting in place the way it should be. There we go. Excellent. That's us. Right. Next step is we need to measure out how much of this we're going to cut or use per connection. This is just, like I say, it's 13mm 1/2 inch tubing, and it comes in lengths of 1/2 metre. I just bought it and cut it in half really, but alright, let's play a game. Let's play Spot the Moron or Spot the Idiot. And given that I'm the only one here, it's got to be me, isn't it? So, overexcitement probably got to me when I ordered my little catch can, because I found these blue silicone hoses from, I think it was the same seller, and I thought, I'll order them, they look nice, they'll brighten up the engine bay. However, these blue silicone hoses are not the right hoses for fitting to a PCV system. This is the right hose for fitting to a PCV system, which is the same inner diameter as that, 13mm. I'll just bring it closer and show you the difference, right? So, the blue hose, as you can see, has a much thinner wall than the black one, and the black one, if you can see that, has little metal kind of ridges that go down the whole way. And the difference is, when the PCV system is activated, i.e. when the engine's switched on and air's getting sucked through these tubes, this is what's going to happen to this one. And it will squash down like that, it will squash down at the kink, it will squash down at the curves, and it will eventually kink, and air will be restricted going back into your intake system. This one doesn't squash, see that? Because it's a rigid pipe. And these are pipes, I'll show you what the writing is on them, if you can see it, maybe not. But it's basically fuel hose, 13mm fuel, reinforced hose. And that is the correct stuff to use for a PCV system. Not that little blue one. Which is a bummer, because I wanted it blue. But anyway, doesn't matter. We've got what we've got. So, I've removed the oil catch can. I'm taking these off. And I also forgot to fit some little O-rings onto these fitments here. So I'll do that. So let's put this back on with the O-rings and we'll measure up the correct length of the correct hose. Sorry about that. That's why this video has been delayed, because I had to order that pipe and wait for it coming in and put the old catch can, put the old catch can, I'm talking garbage. Put the old pipe back on so I could drive the car. At the moment this is my only vehicle. So, okay, let's crack on. Alright, so while we're at it, I'm just going to add these little rubber O-rings to these, because it came with a kit, so might as well put them on, eh? It's probably going to ruin my lovely PTFE, perfect PTFE taping. But never mind. You make these mistakes and you move on, don't you? So, there we go. Let's plug that in, back into the catch can, and let's see if we can measure up the new hoses. There we go. This thicker piping isn't playing ball. It does not want to go on here, so heat is your friend when it comes to these things. Can't remember what way's hotter and colder with this. I'm not going to feel it with my gloves on, am I? Ooh, that's pretty toasty. Right, let's go down a bit. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, that was it. Let's see if we can heat this up a little bit. Alrighty. Let's give this a shot. I'll take this little thing out because it's digging right into the palm of my hand. A little dipstick. And let's see. Oh, oh, hello. It's getting there. It is going on. There we go. It's going to definitely be a better way of doing this, but I ain't doing it. I'm doing it the hard way. There we go. Nearly all on. Let's see if I can get a bit more heat into it. Ow. Hot. hot. Come on, muscle on there. Where are you going? Whew. It's always the easy jobs that take the longest, isn't it? We're nearly there. We've got about half an inch of bite there. We could do with some more. Flubby time. Go! Aha! Now you're wanting to play, aren't you? You're not going to beat me, because I'm going to get you. You're not going to win. You're going on until you're flush. It's nearly there, people. Whoa! We're so close. You are not going to win. You're going on, whether you want to or not. Yeah. Oh, time for a break. Oof. Okay. All right. Let's get these out of the way. Number 2. Let's wrestle with this one now. Get a little bit of grease on here. And a little bit of heatage. And let's wrestle it on. Okay. Here we go. Come on, first time. First time. Second time. Your friend went on, no problem. Why are you having trouble? There we go, that's better. It is a pretty tight fit, I must admit. But that is kind of what you want. Maybe not quite as tight as this, but we work with what we've got. And I've pre-cut this line, so I've roughly measured it up and left a wee bit extra. Measured it up to where it's got to go on the intake. Oh, that's going on not too bad. Not as much of a fight as the first one. And thankfully the ports on the car aren't as big as these ones, just slightly smaller, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier. Don't let me forget to put these on. So if I put all this on and forget these, I know you can take them off and put them on wrapping around, but it's just easier to do it when you're here. Whew. Burn rubber. Pretty tough going. It's going. Yeah. Oofed. Here, that's close enough. We've got about an inch of grab onto them. Once I get it on the car, I'll be jibbing them in a wee bit closer, but there we are. Ready to put on the car and put these onto the ports on the car. And we'll use a couple of jub clips here and put them on like so. You see that? There we go. Just put them on like that. Probably overkill for this, but yeah, we've got them. Why not use them? Having said that, you don't really want this popping off when you're driving, so these give you a little extra peace of mind. Yes, there we go. And I like these to be at the same angle, like that, just because it looks nicer and neater in the engine bay. This, of course, is going to improve performance no end. And I'll have a track day maybe later on in the year that will prove that, but anyway. It is going to be a benefit to the engine long term, I think. Yeah. Excellent. Alright, let's get these on then. What we'll do is go for the far away one first. These lights are awful, man. Really, really poor. There we go. It's going on. Oh, okay. This is harder than I thought. Who would have thought it? A little pipe was going to get the better of me. Who would have thunk it? Right, this one's got a little bit of a tight curve, but it ain't going to kink. Yeah, just get it started and then it just goes the rest of the way. A bit easier. Oh, he said, and it pops right off. Whoops! In hindsight, this one might have been easier to put on first. But we don't do things easy around here. We do it the hard way. Right. Oh. There we go. Prepared. No kinking of the hoses. Everything's fine. Giving it a few revs. Off camera. Yeah. And it works absolutely fine. So what we'll do is we shall check on this after a few thousand miles. See what the level's looking like. There's no vibration with it at all. Good job. All I need to do is do one to the other side. Oh well. Excellent. That was a pretty good job. I would have preferred my blue hoses though, to be honest, but hey ho. I've got some dress up stuff I can wrap around these. I might do that later. Anyway, excellent. Alright, that's a good little job done. I'd say maybe £25 for the oil catch can kit that I got. It's about $30 maybe. And then tenner for the pipe off of eBay, the rigid pipe, 35. Then I had the clips and the brackets and stuff lying around. So you're talking maybe £30 to £40, 40 to $45 if you like, for the whole thing. I know you can buy kits that have got quick connects and everything measured and set up for you, but where's the fun in that, eh? Where's the fun in that? So I'm going to test this out for a few thousand miles, and in a few videos time I'll come back when I service the car in the springtime. I'll come back and show you what the contents of that oil catch can is and see if it's doing its job. Excellent, brilliant. Starting to kind of grow to this car now. It's quite a few jobs done to it in the last year of ownership. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to do a review on the stereo that I installed, the Android touchscreen. Seems to be one of the more popular videos that I've uploaded, so I'm going to do a year's review, an honest review on what I think about that and whether I'm wanting to change it or not, because a lot of people are asking about that one, so we'll do that. So we're starting to grow now. We've got about 14,000 subs on the channel. When I started filming this, we're sitting about 13,500, give or take. So it's going really well. So I have actually started a Patreon site as well. And in the Patreon site, I'm going to go through some behind the scenes stuff that doesn't make it to the YouTube video. Things I've got planned for the garage, car collections like these little guys here. And what I'm going to be planning and doing in here in terms of a workshop and any mods and whatnot. And also some stuff that I'm considering doing in the future for the cars and future project cars. So I'll be releasing all that on Patreon prior to the YouTube videos, prior to Instagram. If you can do it, if you think this is worthwhile, it's a couple of bucks a month. But if you can't, I'll be equally as happy with a like and a subscribe on this video or on my YouTube channel. That'll keep me just as happy, because I appreciate every single person that comments. I try to respond to every single comment I get, even the negative ones, I don't mind. And the channel's going really well and I'm enjoying myself. So let's keep it going, and I appreciate every one of you. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.